Okay, good evening. This is Gwyn Gittens, and I am on live. Let me pull this up so I can see your comments. Okay, so I am Gwyn Gittens. I am on the Lee County School Board. I am not doing this as a school board event. This is just me, Gwyn Gittens speaking. If you are a part of the Lee County School Board, you're more than welcome to watch and participate. However, I will, there we go. Okay. You're welcome to participate. However, you cannot talk at this point because of sunshine law. You can watch and see whatever. Oh, you'll see a post I did along 82. If just quickly, if you are on 82 near Gunnery headed towards Colonial, don't, because you won't get through there. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to everybody. I mean, I've never seen so many policemen all in one place. There are tons and tons and tons. So, okay, I'm trying to pull up my comment section and get my chat going, and there we go. Okay. So the comment section is up, and I should be able to see your comments, and we are streaming, and it says that I'm up there. So good evening, everybody. And you can see this on Gwyn Gittens School District 5. You can see it on Gwinnetta S. Gittens, or you can watch it on YouTube on Gwyn Gittens. So I am on quite a few different places, and there we go. All right, so now we'll see. I am on quite a few different places. And now I'm on twice. There we go. Okay. So now I can see your comments in the chat. So thank you so much for joining. Again, this is Gwyn Gittens. I am on the Lee County School Board. I'm also running for re-election. This is not just a campaign event. This is something I've done for the last, 2.5 years or so, just to keep everybody up to date on things that are going on and answer your questions. I did find out, I used to have a whole lot more people coming on. I did find out that there's something with the Meta program that cuts off a lot of different things that used to happen that you used to be able to see. I have run into people that have said, I used to watch you and I can't find you, but I'm here. And if you're out there, just let me know that you're on. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, or you want to make your thoughts known about some of the things that are going on, you can do that as well. It's a free country and you have your right to speak. I will answer whatever questions I can, and if it's something that is going to possibly come up for a vote, then I definitely will not be able to do that. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's start with the happy news. Tomorrow is the last day before spring break. It's going to happen, people. A whole week off. And I know that teachers and administrators and all will please take the time to relax. A lot of times during breaks, even during the winter break for 2 weeks, I would talk to administrators and they were at school trying to catch up on things. You need to catch up on you and do what's best for you at this particular point. So, see, I think I've got, excuse me, live chat up here. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew where I was. So I'm live on Facebook, on Gwyn Gittens School Board District 5, on YouTube, in case you don't have a Facebook, and you can let others know they can see me on Gwyn Gittens on Facebook, and also on, I believe, Instagram. Instagram may not be up yet, but I will post it on there afterwards. The superintendent's contract went through. It was discussed at our last meeting. And actually, there are two contracts, and one is on make sure I share this. One is on his like interim contract or the consultant piece. So for the first month, he is going to be working with the district, but he will do so as a consultant. And it's a flat fee, it's not hourly or anything like that. So that was at the last meeting, that was determined. And also his contract, his full-term contract, I believe begins in May. So we do have a superintendent, and at the same time, we still have Dr. Savage is still the superintendent until May 16th when Dr. Bernier takes over. Sharing this to a couple of folks, see if they would like to join us, and please share on your site as well. Sending it to a couple of people. Okay. And there we go. All right. So this week, tomorrow, I'm going to sub, and at least for a couple of classes in the morning. And I'm not going to tell anybody where I'm going. I'm not going to call because I really don't want all the hoopla. I want to walk in the door and say, what class do you need covered? And just be assigned a class. I have spoken to the superintendent and also Mr. Dodig about the program that I had brought up, where volunteers can go in and subs can work 3 or 4 hours instead of working all day. And they said that it's very close to being done. In the meantime, you can go on to the website leeschools.net and to sign up to be a sub, because you're going to have to do that anyway in order to go in schools. Now, I did check and see, because some parents and community people were wondering if indeed they can go in to the schools again, because at first with COVID and everything, we could not, you couldn't go into the schools. Okay. Good evening, Lourdes. Thank you for joining. So now you can, but you still have to do the go through the process and fingerprints and all that good stuff, because we can't just let anybody into the schools. But it's not that difficult. I was messaged last week by someone who actually has done it, and they were saying to me that they're going to start volunteering at the neighborhood school. And you can do that. You don't have to go through being assigned to a school. If you want to work 3 or 4 hours once a week at the school that's closest to you, especially because gas is so high, then that's fine. You can do that. So call the district at Lee County Schools, and or go online and tell them you want to be a sub or a volunteer or help out at a school that's close by you. So please, please, please do that. We had a closed door session today, and we are allowed by statute to do that because certain items that we have to talk about that are because of sunshine, we have to meet together, and we had one of those today, and you'll hear about it later on. So one of the things that HR was saying, though, is that yes, we're still in need of subs and teachers, and they everybody is concerned about that. Everybody is concerned. So we have no idea what's going to happen at the end of the year. We just pray that there's not a mass exodus, and we are asking you to hang in there with us. Please, please, please. And let's see if we can take care of our staff and do the things we need, and take care of our students more so than anything. So I told you the superintendent is going to be in town, I think the end of the month, and they're still looking for housing and all. And then he will be doing from April to May it's called a consultant. So he will be around getting to know the district and the staff and the issues and all of the things, so that when he steps out of the gate, he's ready to go. I have heard him talk about his 100-day plan, which was excellent for me. Hello, Verndell Stanley. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you having a good day. So he is ready to go, and I like the aspect that he is gathering information, talking to all the staff, making putting things together in his own mind, using his experience and things that have worked and maybe didn't work somewhere else, and coming up with a very solid plan to move forward. He is very well aware that, hi Marie, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. I was in a meeting or something the other day, and they were talking about the elected superintendent. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that to you. I haven't heard today, but as of last week, the bill to have an elected superintendent in Lee County passed, I believe, both houses, and the House and the Senate, and it was just waiting for the governor to sign. So we are looking, and here's how that will work. If that vote was to pass to say, will it be on the ballot in November? And that passed, and yes, it will be one of those long referendums at the end about, do we want to do this and do we want to do that? And so it will be on the ballot in November. If it passes at that time, then I'm sure you'll start seeing people immediately preparing themselves to run, because, hi Dominic, preparing to run, because in 2 years from that, in 24, whoever wants to run for superintendent will do that. And just be aware that the qualifications are not anything as strenuous as what we've done in this superintendent search. You basically have to be a legal citizen and of age, and registered voter, and, a few kind of things like that. So we're looking at some interesting things. Take a look at the letter and the proposal that the district sent to the school board from here, sent to Tallahassee, talking about the reasons why we think that it would be very difficult, to do that. There are so many things that would be involved, and we could end up with someone who really does not have any experience in education or running a school, much less a school district. I hear a lot when I listen to like my opponent and other people talking about their platform and of giving parents back the rights. And I get it. And I do understand that the parents' referendum and bill that came out, and yes, there are things that we have to do. And yet it concerns me to hear, and several candidates will say, well, put me in there and I'm going to give the rights back to parents. That's just one piece of the puzzle. That's just one iceberg in the ocean where the Titanic is. And I just hope everyone that is running realizes that it just goes a whole lot deeper than that. We cannot, one of the things that people on the board will constantly tell you, even though we represent a specific area, we serve all the children in the whole district. So there's that balancing act, which is where I've run up against some things, because I know that I serve all 96,000 students, but I also know that I represent District 5. District 5 and the people in this community are the ones that elected me, that said, we want you to represent us in the good and the bad and whatever is going on. So I do have to be aware of that at all times. And I say all the time when I'm on the dais at a meeting, you want to shut me up, you want to stop me from talking about the East Zone, just give us the schools that we need, give us the staff that we need, pay the staff so that they, can afford to drive out here, to be out here, and give us a technical center. I still do not understand the majority, over 2/3 of the enrollment in Fort Myers Tech is from the East Zone, and specifically like Lehigh and Olga and all those areas in District 5. And yet they continue to improve Fort Myers. And I just can't understand why they don't see that the need is out here. And the last meeting I brought it out, and the answer was, it's on the 10-year plan. Well, I've been on this board for over 3 years. It was on the 10-year plan, then it was on the 5, then it was on the 10 again, then the 5, and now it's back on the 10-year plan. We don't have that kind of time to wait. We just don't. In 10 years, you will have run a whole, different group of kids from kindergarten almost all the way to high school. What are we offering those students? And our main charge to do is to educate all children. And our mission is that we will basically meet them where they're at and make sure they achieve their own personal highest potential. So that could be, pilot or chef or plumber or whatever, or it may just be working, retail. And that's okay, whatever that child's personal potential is. I spoke last week at BUPAC, and I mentioned that, and I ran into one of the ladies today at an event, and she was talking about that. I love to go to anywhere that I can to speak about what I speak about, the East Zone and the needs and the needs that are not being met, the achievement gap, and all of that. I don't turn down an invitation. I really don't. There's some scary ones, but I don't turn down an invitation. And my thing is, I want people to know who I am if they don't already, if they can't look at me sitting up there and understand that I'm real and genuine, and my word is my bond, and I say what I mean. And you can't do that if you only speak to people that like you. To really do this job, you've got to speak to some people that really don't care about you too much. But it's your job to convince them not to change their mind per se, but that there's different ways of looking at things. And that's what I feel my job is, to help people understand there's more than one way to look at a situation. Let's pick the best one. So, okay, I don't think I brought you up to speed on what happened with Veterans Park Academy. So, right now, Veterans Park Academy is going to be Veterans Park Academy of the Arts and massive school. I'm hearing all kinds of numbers. Somebody threw out 3,000 students. I don't know if that's true. But they are now revamping the old Lambs building. If you remember the school off of Arthur, the middle school, they moved the staff and the students from there to the new school over off of Sunshine and Bethany Trace. And now they are looking at the renovations of the old school. And in fact, not looking at it, they're working on it. I was over there the other day. It's going to be very nice. I really think so. And they are charged to have it open in August. So it was my understanding. I asked about, well, what went on the listing for school choice was a middle school at Veterans Park Academy listed as a choice for anyone. And if not, then why? Because then we are picking and selecting and choosing students that would go. Now, I know that the 6th through 8th graders at the existing Veterans Park Academy will definitely go there, but that's not enough to fill up the school. So that's just some of the issues that we faced, and I don't know, there's just so much going on right now. So we've got that school being built. One part of it is going to be a performing arts center. And I have suggested, so in that Veterans Park overall project, you've got revising the old Lehigh Acres Middle School. You've got doing revisions to Veterans Park Academy, the front building, and then you've got the Performing Arts Center. So I have suggested, for clarity and transparency's sake, that we list it just like that. Veterans Park Academy of the Arts, Phase 1, which is fixing up the old Lambs. Phase 2, anything that needs to be fixed in the front building. And then 3 is the Performing Arts Center. I still think that we should not strap the district with all the cost of a performing arts center. If it's for the community, it needs to be by the community as well. So we need to pitch in and help foot the bill, or grants, or whatever it is. Maybe there's, a rich uncle out here, but we need to use more of that money to help the overcrowding in other schools and to decrease the achievement gap. So I'll go over my thoughts on that. You may have seen me on TV this week. The governor did say that we no longer will have FSA next year. But if you read it carefully, it also says we will have testing like 3 times during the year and then a final test. And he did say that final test would be used as a benchmark for graduation and for moving on. So basically, we're still testing. I don't know all the intricate details of it. And I don't know why people in education or involved with education do not realize, figure it out, plan it out, think it out, go over all the details, the good, the bad, and the ugly before you put it out. And just assume that some people are going to have an issue with, okay, if they have an issue, what are we going to tell them? We just, for some reason, like to say, oh, I got an idea, let me put it out there for everybody to see. Well, what questions do you have? Well, I don't have any answers right now. So I just wish we could communicate better across the board and even with our district. Let me see if there's anything else. And if anyone has any questions or thoughts that you would like to say. Marie, tell me, where are you teaching now? I thought you were at East. But if you're still on, just let me know where you're teaching. And Dominic, I know you're over at Leonard, so I hope that's going well. We've just got a lot of work to do, folks. An awful lot of work to do. And I just hope everyone is up to the challenge and time and everything that it's going to take to get it done. I know I am, which is why I'm running for school board again. I understand there's also a thing out there about term limits, which I'm all about. And I think it's like 20 years or something. I think it should be 2 terms and move on. But what do I know? And the reason I say that is we need to keep things fresh. We need to keep ideas fresh and thoughts. And when some people make a career, and I'm not just talking here, I'm talking in government in general, making a career politician or move, I think we lose, and the kids lose because we don't have any recurring, I'm not recurring, but a way to deal with new problems. I was talking to someone the other day, and I realized that since 2018, so much has happened to change our whole entire world, our universe. And if we believe as educators that we're going to just continue, it's like the song says, wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. It's time, wake up all your teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. I'll post it up later on. But when I taught a 4th grade class at G. Weaver, and, they were the ones that were a little bit behind. So we used to start every morning. I'm standing in the door, and that song, Wake Up Everybody, would be playing, and everyone that walked by would be singing and dancing in the hallway. That song was back, in the 50s? I'll have to look it up. And I think about how relevant it was back then. Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war, and poverty. And that was in the 50s, 60s, something like that. And here we are in 2022. And you can look at the words to that song and think that somebody wrote it yesterday. So we got a lot of work to do. We've got to roll up our sleeves and get busy and make sure. My concern too, I think about this testing and the achievement gap. When you think about the achievement gap, what is it? We set as adults a limit or a ceiling that says, if you reach this, you have achieved. If you haven't reached this, you haven't achieved. Thus, the achievement gap. And I know we have to have some kind of measurement to see if children learn, but um, sometimes we set kids up for failure. We're saying if you can't read like Susie in third grade, then you're not going to make it. And that's not necessarily true. So we need to sit down, stop the madness, and sit down and wake up everybody. Time to think a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. So I'll post that favorite song up in a little bit. Excuse me. Like I said, someone is helping me work on the algorithms for my um, website and all of that, because something is going on with Facebook that people can't find me, or you can't, all the people that would watch it are not watching it. So I'm working on that. Hopefully over spring break I can get some help and open it up and have more people aware that we're here. I want to hear from you. I don't want to sit here every Thursday and just chat. So I also will have my messages will be open, my email at votegwyn@gmail.com. Send me questions. If you don't feel comfortable coming on asking your questions, send me a question, which is really good because then I have time to look up and see what the correct answers are. So again, next week is spring break, but I believe district staff is still working. So I will probably come on and talk about something wonderful. And I hope again that my teachers and administrators and all those good folks found a way to relax, to get away, and just do something different and recharge that battery. Stephen Covey, Sharpen the Saw. If you don't know the story, it's about the two lumberjacks that were having a competition to cut the most logs. And the one guy says, "Oh, I'm going to win. I'm just going to keep going," and so on and so on. The other guy stopped periodically to sharpen the blade of his saw. Guess who cut the most trees? The guy with the sharpened saw. But the concept is that you have to stop and retool and refresh and do what you need to do to get the energy to do it even better and faster. So begin with the end in mind and sharpen that saw. If you have any questions, please feel free to give them to me. You can do it at votegwyn@gmail.com or gwynnettasg@leeschools.com, and I will definitely get back to you. There is, was it today or tomorrow? I believe there's another bargaining meeting of TOUT, and we are just hoping and praying that we'll come to a meeting of the minds and you guys can get the funds and the funding that you really need out there. And I can't say enough, but thank you for doing all that you do. And some of you in double time. So again, look out tomorrow. You may have an extra sub, but I want to surprise the school because I do not want anybody, "Oh, we'll give her this class." No, I want whatever I would get if I walked in the door and I was a sub. So I thank you, thank you, thank you. for all that you do, teachers and staff, and all of the support that you give to others. And vacation is coming. I've heard a lot of people say they're just going to stay home and just close the curtains and just chill out. And I hope you do. So thank you. If there are several people that watch and they don't come on or don't say anything, so, and that's fine, but please post this on your own page or any other page if you have some other friends, and make sure to tell them they can email me or call me at GwynnettaSG@leeschools.net, and the other is, I'll get it in a second. Okay. Vote Gwyn at Gmail. So there's no excuse that you can't get to me and to get me to answer a question. Ask the people that went to BUPAC last week. I'm used to the hardball questions. That's okay too. Got to learn how to answer them all. So I thank you so much for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Watch my Facebook, and it also goes on YouTube and Instagram. Sometimes I will get on, like yesterday. What was it I did? The school. What was it I did yesterday? Oh, the opening of the Jags Cafe at East Lee County High School. The food was fabulous. The students were fabulous. Just very, very good. And I will post up the poster about it. If you want to have a meeting or something, and it seats 40 people, they set everything up so nicely, and you can choose from your menu and all that. And so they're trying to get it out there to the community so that they will know about it as well, and everybody will get an opportunity to use it. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I think that's about all that I have. I may come on one day next week, just as things are on the agenda for the following week. I think the 28th and 29th are when we have our meetings, and 7 days before that, everything has to be out. So that's when the things are posted on board docs, and then you can see them, and I'll go over that. So at sometime next week, I will get on to go over some of the items that are on board docs that we will be discussing in the board meeting on the 29th. So without further ado, I wasn't sneezing, I will let you go for this evening. And please share. Remember things I told you about. The superintendent is coming. He's kind of on his way. Bargaining continues, and I'm hopeful that it will be done soon. What else? I think that's it for now. So I thank you again, everyone, and talk to you soon. Have a good evening. Have a great weekend, and stay safe. Take care.